See? I told you this is the only staircase in the house.
We had 3 officers posted right here.
Well, for the last time, I have no idea. Cole! Hi!
Hey.
Oh, thank God you're here.
But Denise hasn't come home?
I'm really worried about her. You know, we all are. How come cops ask the same questions over and over?
Well, I guess they want to see if your story changes. But if you're telling the truth, you don't have to worry. Are you?
Am I what?
Telling the truth.
Hey, James? James? You still asleep? It's all clear.
Thanks. I appreciate it. The medevac flight just touched down. They're bringing Greg into the ICU.
All right, go ahead. My next appointment's on our way, but I will join you as soon as I can, I promise. It's gonna be okay.
I knew Greg was in trouble. I should have kept on him. Figured it out. Maybe I could have kept this all from happening.
Hey, if your brother is gonna make it through this, what he doesn't need is you blaming yourself. What he needs to do is dig down and find all the strength that he's got, right? And I can't think of anyone that can help him do that better than you.
Thank you.
Sean, I am so sorry. I hear that they're bringing Greg in.
Thanks. Vivian can tell you all about it.
Is Greg gonna be okay?
I don't know. It could go either way.
Right.
Where is he? There he is!
Hey, just easy, step back.
I need to see my son.
Listen, I understand. The doctors need time to stabilize him
Is he
first.
gonna be okay?
Destiny, we got him here as soon as we could.
Sean, you need to talk to somebody. They won't let us in here to see him.
You guys okay?
We'd be a lot better if we could see Greg.
Soon, listen, in the meantime, is there anything I can do?
Yes, Lieutenant. You can tell me why my son is in there fighting for his life. How on earth did this happen to him?
The minute the judge gave me custody, Manning was on the phone lining up a team and
On
took
10
Danny
minutes
away.
notice? Fantasy world do you live in, man?
Hey, you could have had this thing planned for days.
I should have, but I didn't. We had a security detail in the house. Any major operation would have been stopped before it got started.
What's going on here? What, you on his payroll too, huh?
We got a holding cell down the hall, Rayburn. You want to check in, it can be arranged.
All I'm saying is he knows where she is.
You were the last person to see Danielle before she disappeared.
I already gave my statement.
I'd like to hear it again.
I went upstairs, I said goodbye to Danny. She started crying, and she asked me to give her a minute alone.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's
right,
what
a minute alone, right. So Manning's goons could speed into action. Where is she, huh? Where the hell is my daughter? What have you done with her?
This cereal's like pure sugar.
Sorry, it doesn't meet your FDA requirements.
You know, if my mom was around, she wouldn't let me near this stuff. I mean, she acted like it was poison.
Now that you taste it, excellent, right?
And if you like poison.
Wow.
James, thank you.
For introducing you to the world of frosted cereal.
For getting me out of my dad's house last night. And you took a huge chance. I really don't know how I'll ever repay you.
Help me think of some other place we can take you. Because if my brother finds out... What? No, he's not supposed to be here. Go. Hey, you do something? Bye, pass for the gym. Glad to see you started the day. Yeah. What's going on here? Hungry this morning? What, you never had 2 bowls of cereal? In 2 separate bowls? Whatever, what's the big deal? That's what I want to know, James. What's the big deal? How long has this been going on?
Star, what's going on? You see
What are you doing?
We need to trace any incoming calls.
Right. You know, it's just so weird because one minute Danny was here and the next, you know, she just disappeared.
Can we go outside?
No, I can't because I promised my dad I would stay here while he's at the police station to wait for Danny. Cole, what are you doing?
Why are you lying to me?
I can't talk right now, okay? In case you haven't noticed, all of these guys in uniforms are listening to every word that I say.
So you do know where she is?
I didn't think I was gonna have a chance to say goodbye to you.
You don't have to say goodbye to me, okay? All you have to do is slide down that tree and leave with James before Ross comes for you. Are you ready to do that?
Thank you so much for taking away my only sister and my daughter's only aunt.
Listen, Star,
How are you going to look Danny in the eye knowing that you're taking her away from her extended family that she's come to love?
Star, tell me, where is she?
She's with James.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Come on, you've obviously got a girl back there. Obviously.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know it's crazy, because the only girl you'd ever be trying to hide from me is Star Manning.
Nate knew that the cops would be all over him, so he went to his brother. He figured that no one would be looking at James.
Okay, so how'd this go down?
James got Danny out the upstairs window and they climbed down a tree and got away.
What a hero. You know, maybe if she's lucky, he'll get her into a shootout like he did with you.
Come on, Nate begged him to help.
And you let a guy like that take your sister?
It was either that or never see her again.
Star, when were you going to tell me about any of this?
Stop. It's a little hard, don't you think? With the cops, when did I have time?
Well, how about now? How about now? I had to drag it out of you. And we both know why. Because you didn't want me to know that you were mixed up with James again.
You're acting like I planned this. This was James and Nate's idea. I had nothing to do with it.
Well, when Danny disappeared, I was downstairs with the cops. I had no idea what was happening.
Hell, you didn't. All the whining to the judge about how you needed some alone time to say goodbye. And then you left her alone upstairs. I watched you, dude. And when she was upstairs, it was like you were on another planet.
Is there any truth to that? Taya? Is that you? I didn't go after Danny because I needed some time alone to figure out the best way to say goodbye to her.
Oh, that's bold.
Why are you worried about me? Seems to me if I were you, I'd be worrying about whether Danny's
Yeah,
okay.
well, I'm worried about Danny.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have pushed her away. You know, he had his brother change Taya's will so he could steal Danny. She wants nothing to do with you. So she ran. Sorry, but that's not my fault. That's your fault.
You don't even know what he was doing on that island, do you?
We're working on it.
Dr. Evans is stable. I'd like to see him.
Thank you. I just need a minute to pull myself together first. Oh, I wish your father were here. Why? He's forced down there to that prison transfer in Tennessee. I called him. I tried to get a flight.
He'll get here as soon as he can. You know that, Mom.
Honey, you go on in there. All right? You take your brother by the hand, and you tell him we're with him every minute, even if he can't hear us, okay?
I will.
All right. That's my brave girl. Put on a big smile for him. And you go on in there, okay?
Don't worry, Mama. I won't let him see me cry. Because there's nothing to cry about. Greg's gonna be fine, right, Mama?
Yes, baby. All right. Go. Now, you've told me what you don't know. Suppose you tell me what you do know. How did my son end up with a lethal dose of morphine in him?
I can tell you who did this to him. What I can't explain is how your son's involved with him.
What do you mean, involved?
The man in question is still at large. This needs to remain confidential. It's Elijah Clark. What are you talking about? Elijah Clark is dead. He died in a fire. It's been all over the news. That's what he wanted everyone to believe. He was hiding out at the hospice where we found Greg. Greg was listed as the doctor of record.
That's impossible.
I know it's not what you want to hear.
Gregory would never hide a criminal from the police. Not my son. Never.
All right, your weight is right where we want it to be, so whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I want to check your blood pressure one more time.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, you know, sometimes the readings can vary. I just want to make a comparison, right? Have you been feeling anything unusual? Any sleeplessness, dizziness, shortness of breath?
Well, I've been a bit dizzy, but I just figured that was because I was tired.
Why, have you not been sleeping well?
Sometimes, but that's pretty normal during pregnancy, right?
And everything's okay with you and Brody?
Yeah. We've made some changes, and I've recently made a decision.
What kind of decision?
I decided to tell him that there's a possibility this baby might not be his.
And how did you take it?
Good. I mean, it's hard, obviously, and he gets angry sometimes, but not at me, at the way things are. He admitted it, which is good. You know, I just keep on telling myself that odds are, when the baby's born, we're going to find out that it really is Brody's, and we'll have nothing to worry about at all, so... What, is there a problem?
Yes, Jessica, there is.
We get it. You blame Rayburn for Danielle's disappearance.
Well, Danny has a life here. She has school, she has friends, family, a father who actually loves her. And this clown wants to take her a million miles away from it all.
Oh,
so she panicked.
If she decided to run away, we'd have tracked her down in an hour. She's just a kid.
But she's smart and resourceful. And she's done it before from that boarding school. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. But she didn't do it alone. She had help. That friend, you know, the boy? Idiot.
You know, actually, he does have a point, because the last time that Dana ran away, it was the Buchanan kid who helped her. Maybe you should be interviewing him.
I could do that, but something tells me Nate here hasn't shared everything he knows. You sure you didn't give Danny any assistance getting out of that house last night?
If I was crazy enough to do that, I would have stayed with her. We would have run together and I'd be with her right now. Don't you get it? I want Danny back. I lost her too.
I didn't even know that there was a plan until James showed up in Danny's room. It was a total shock.
But not enough shock to make you stop Danny from doing something insane.
It was the only way out of an impossible situation.
To run off with the guy who used to steal cars?
I didn't even have time to think about it. And you're acting like I was plotting this with James behind your back. Well, do you believe me or not?
Yeah, I believe you.
Then what's the problem?
The problem is, one minute you say you're not gonna have anything to do with James, and the next you're the guy's accomplice. And the worst part is, I am totally in the dark.
How many times do I have to tell you to stay away from Star Manning? You're getting yourself into a world of hurt here, don't you understand?
You sure are jumping to a lot of conclusions.
Do you want me to count how many ways this is a bad idea?
No thanks, I know them all by
The girl
heart.
shot you, she could have killed you. What?
I just realized my bullet, it's gone.
What, that thing you're always wearing around your neck?
Yeah, I must have still left it in my bedroom.
Yeah, that's not the only thing you left in your bedroom. Get rid of her. Now!
I noticed at your last appointment that your blood pressure was a little high. I thought that it was temporary, but unfortunately your levels haven't gone down to a normal range.
Well, is it hurting the baby?
No, the baby's fine, but we want to keep it that way. So I'm going to put you on a modified bed rest, all right, and hope that the hypertension resolves itself.
I've never had high blood pressure before, and I've been trying to take such good care of myself, and
It's often stress-related. You know, the body often takes on what the mind can't deal with.
Like what?
Jessica, knowing that the father of your child might not be the man that you're about to marry, I think that'd be stressful for anyone.
Okay, Nate. If you didn't have anything to do with getting Danny out of that house, do you have any idea who did?
You're kidding me, right? Why are you asking him? There's only one guy that can mastermind something like this. He's got the money, the manpower, doesn't give a damn about the law or what Danny wants.
What Danny wants? She wants to be with me.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't stand it, can you?
No. What the hell have you done?
Hey!
What'd you do?
Hey, back off!
What'd you do?
You're coming with me.
I'm fine, thank you very much. So where is she?
This is suicide, James. Star's father is a psycho. So is her boyfriend. The guy practically beat her father to death a few months ago. And you think he's gonna go any easier on you when he finds out you're doing his girlfriend?
Hey! You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Well, I'm afraid I do, and this ends right now. Star!
Wait.
Star, come on out here! Quick, come on out before I drag you out.
Hey, no one's dragging anybody anyway.
See? You were totally off base. It wasn't even Star.
No, it's her little sister, right?
Danielle.
Danielle. How old are you, Danielle?
Whoa, what is that?
How old are you?
I'm telling
16, why?
This gets better and better. Congratulations, my man. You are hooking up with our brother's underage girlfriend.
I haven't seen Danny since I said goodbye to her last night.
You know that I've been keeping an eye on you. I know that you helped her out of that house somehow. Who helped you?
I can't answer that.
You know, Nate, I know what you're trying to do. I understand. You're not gonna wait me out. I'm her father. I have a right to know where she is.
I'm sorry. Can't help you.
You're disgusting.
Me? I'm not the one sleeping with my brother's high school honey.
Don't talk about her like that.
How could you do that to Nate, dude?
Excuse me? Since when do you care about Nate? Most of the time you like to pretend that he's not even our brother anyway.
Okay, so he's not my favorite person in the world, but he did go to bat for me with that job. One that you suggested I take. So this is how you want to repay him?
No, not even close. See, some of us don't live in the world according to Robert Ford, where everybody's in bed with everybody else. I'm not sleeping with Danny. I'm hiding her from her father.
Great. Did I not just say that the guy was a psycho?
Wrong father.
No one's called in with a sighting yet, but we just sent out 4 more units and we're setting up a checkpoint on Route 7.
Thanks.
Listen, you're not gonna flag her down at some roadblock. Manning's probably gotten her out of the country by now. She could be halfway around the world for all we know.
Jessica, I thought you had a doctor's appointment.
Hey, yeah, that's where I'm calling you from right now. Don't worry, the baby's fine. Dr. Wright just wants to talk to both of us. So, can you meet me here as soon as possible?
I know we both want what's best for Danny. But I'm the only one in a position to provide those things for her. I have experience, and not to mention a hell of a lot more resources than you do. Okay? Hey.
You do not want me to play hardball with you. But I will if I have to. You got that?
Hey. I have to take care of something. I'll be in touch, but until I am, you're free to go.
Hey.
I don't care what it looks like, Detective. My son took an oath to save lives. He wouldn't associate with someone who takes them.
Sean, your brother ever talked to you about Elijah Clark?
Not that I remember.
But you said he was acting strange lately.
He was under a ton of pressure. And like I told you, I was worried. I couldn't figure out why.
He's a neurosurgeon. If there's a job more pressured, I'd like to know what it is.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm gonna keep talking anyway. And you know that's a promise I can keep. It feels so messed up seeing you like this. You're the one who fixes people. Just like you fixed Sean. Now, Greg, who's gonna fix you?
Is there anything that Greg said lately that struck you as out of the ordinary?
I'm sorry, Detective. But you have our sincere gratitude for bringing our son home, but you couldn't be more wrong about him. Excuse me.
You said that Elijah Clark is still on the loose. Any idea where? Not yet, but we're gonna find him. You do that before he comes back here to finish off my brother.
See Officer Coleman over there? He's here to make sure that doesn't happen.
Thanks.
You know, you were smart not to involve the cops. They would just muck it up. And you know what? Ross didn't think it ends up. I get that too. But you can tell me. You're gonna have to tell me.
Well, well, well. Look who's buddy-buddy all of a sudden. What are you two cooking up?
I just want to know if he's holding out on us. Holding out on us, Nate? No, this punk doesn't have the guts to mastermind Danny's great escape. Get out of here.
I wasn't hiding anything from you. I didn't even know that there was something to hide until Danny was gone.
Look, it's just ever since James got here, I feel like whatever happens, I'm the last one to know.
This has nothing to do with James.
Yes, it does. When you let him take your sister, you let him make you an accomplice.
An accomplice?
You lied to the police, right?
I had to.
And if they find out that you withheld information, do you think they're just gonna give you a free pass? Huh? Look at me. James put you in a really bad position.
I wasn't thinking about James. I was thinking about Danny and Nate. They were being ripped apart, just like we were. We ran too, Cole. We would have risked anything to be together. Have you forgotten about all of that?
You never forget what happened between us. That's when everything changed, when my life finally began.
Well, I feel the same way. That must be what it's like for Danny and Nate right now.
Look, I get that. But you and me, we're older now. We have a kid. What do you think that's gonna do to her if you get arrested?
I'm not gonna get arrested.
How do you know? The cops aren't stupid. They're gonna figure out how Danny got out and that you didn't try to stop it from happening.
Would you stop it? You don't actually think that I'm going to get arrested for all of this. You're just freaking out because James is involved.
And that's why we had to get Danny out of there.
Yeah, I can't go back to Tahiti. I mean, my home is here now. And besides, that judge didn't even know me. How is it right for her to suddenly decide my entire life?
Right, so when Nate came to me and he asked me for my help, I didn't see how I could say no.
Wait, so Nate talked to you in all this?
Dude, his whole world is going down the tubes.
I don't care. Let him stick his own neck out. What gives him the right to get you into all this trouble?
He would do the same for me.
And you know this how? From your long and rich history together over the last couple of weeks? Yeah, tell me about that when the cops come knocking down your door.
Dude, that's not gonna happen. The cops don't even know where Danny is.
Yeah, Nate distracted them, and James and I went out the window. No one saw us.
Oh, so, wait, let me get this straight. You not only defied a court order, but you kidnapped a minor? Haven't we had enough trouble as it is? Now you've gone and turned us into public enemy number one.
Hey.
What's going on?
It's nothing to be alarmed about. Why don't you take a seat? Jessica's blood pressure is a little higher than we'd like, so we're going to take some steps to correct that.
I'm gonna go on bed rest for a little while, and I'm gonna do some relaxation exercises, and chances are everything will go back to normal.
How did this happen?
Well, I believe it's stress-related. Anything that you can do to reduce the tension would really help a lot. I'll give you two a chance to talk about it.
I hate this. Are you really okay?
Hey, I'm okay, really. Dr. Wright is just being extremely cautious.
Well, she shouldn't have to be, because it never should have gotten this far. And it's all my fault.
What did Detective McBain say?
Nothing I wanted to hear.
He doesn't know how Greg got hurt?
He's not sure yet.
Greg's been acting so different lately. Every time I try to get him to talk, he'd shut me down. But I knew something was wrong. And then when he lied in court about who Danny's mom wanted her to live with, that's just not Greg.
Well, I'm sure he's going to explain everything once he wakes up. But right now, he just needs our prayers and maybe a new blanket. I'm going to go find a nurse.
Ma, what Destiny was saying back there, that's the same exact thing I was trying to tell John McBain. We both noticed something was up with Greg.
If you're asking me to believe that he was mixed up with this murderer, Sean...
If he was, there has to be a reason. And it's up to us to figure out what that reason could be.
Where the hell's Levin? No, I'm not letting the
Hey, wait a minute. No, I saw you talking about Levin. Were you talking about Danny? Did someone report seeing her?
Well, don't give me that. You stashed her where you knew she'd never be found.
All right, you can keep singing that tune if you want, man. But I'm gonna go find her. And if I find out you chased her away, you're a dead man.
Ooh. More threats.
No, it's not a threat.
Yeah.
This time it's for real.
What are you girls gabbing about? Anything I should know?
I got nothing to say to you, John. I've done nothing wrong.
Yeah, except kidnap my daughter.
You mean my daughter?
Yeah, court order says different. That she belongs to me. Now, if you have any intention of honoring that, you'll get him to confess. You'll bring my daughter back to me, or there will be hell to pay.
Yeah,
you know, Ross?
I need to talk to you.
He's so full of it. I don't know where she is.
All right. This has got nothing to do with Danielle. It's about Elijah Clark.
Sean, I don't want to hear any more about your brother and that Clark person, okay?
I'm not saying he hooked up with this guy because he wanted to. But if Clark was holding something over him...
Like what?
I don't know. You know, maybe he had some debts we didn't know about or something. But people like Clark, they find out where a person's weak spot is and they use it.
I need to find that nurse and get that blanket.
Hey, Sean, what's happening?
I wish I knew.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cause any trouble for anyone.
Yeah, well, maybe you should have thought of that before you climbed out a window with my brother.
Leave her alone, all right? You want to blame somebody, blame me.
Oh, don't worry, I do. Because thanks to you, we're on everybody's hit list. Todd Manning, Ross Rayburn, oh, and let's not forget the entire Landview Police Department.
I'm so sorry, Jess.
It's not your fault.
Of course it is. You felt bad enough. Then I started going on about Ford and how mad I was, and look what happened. Your blood pressure goes through the roof.
Hey, it's not you. It's a situation.
Marty said I should be honest, but this wasn't the right time. I shouldn't have said anything.
I would have known something was wrong, and Brody, I am happy that you trust me enough to be honest. Okay? We have to tell each other everything, right?
Right. Let's get you home. I'll give you a massage. Start off this whole relaxation thing.
Ooh, suddenly high blood pressure doesn't sound too bad.
I'm gonna take good care of you both. You and the baby, that's all that matters.
I promised Mama that I wouldn't cry. But I feel like everything is falling apart. Danny was my best friend. And now I don't know if I'll ever see her again. Greg, I can't lose you too. You have to come back to us. You have to.
So did you guys think about this at all, or did you and little Miss Jailbait here just show up without a plan?
The plan is to keep Danny out of sight, so that Star, her dad, and the rest of her family can find a way to fight the court order.
Stars. I knew Star figured it in somewhere.
She didn't ask me to help Danny.
Yeah, it's true. Star had nothing to do with this.
Well, good luck fighting a court order. That usually goes really well.
Well, it might this time. I mean, there was stuff that went on in the hearing room that just didn't seem right. Some of the testimony was out of nowhere. Look, all my dad needs is a little bit of time to figure everything out. If you could just let me stay here for a little while.
Well, I don't understand why you're not with Nate. This was his bright idea in the first place.
Are you kidding me? Nate would be the first place I'd look. They're probably following him right now.
Admit it. This wouldn't be getting to you if James wasn't a part of it.
But he is part of it. And now you are too.
I saw cops outside. What's going on?
Okay, you don't have to do that. Cole already knows. Are you all right?
I will be if you do something for me.
What do you need?
Call James.
This is the safest place for Danny right now. Can't you just let her stay?
Nothing good can come of this, James. I'm sorry, but if you won't do the right thing and take Danny back right now, I'm gonna have to call the cops myself.
I just came from the police station. They leaned on me pretty hard, but they finally let me go.
Do you think that they're watching you?
I'd be crazy not to. And have to keep tabs on Star, too.
No, I don't think so. She was gone by the time Danny left, so they don't suspect her. If you call James, it's not going to set off any alarms.
Okay, look, Cole and I were talking, and it just seems like I'm too involved as it is.
Look, if I call James, they're going to trace it and they're going to find Danny. I cannot take that chance. You're the only way I can find out if she's all right. I know it's a lot to ask, okay? But just look, think about it. Please, you know where to find me.
Do what you have to do, Star.
Is it okay if I call Darren? He wanted to be here, but he couldn't.
Sure, you go ahead. I'll stay with your brother.
When I started talking about what could have made Greg do what he did, Mama kind of froze. I don't know why.
She has a lot to process right now, Sean. I really wouldn't read that much into it.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it's nothing.
I know you, Gregory. You would do anything to protect your brother and sister. And if that man got you to do his dirty work, I think I know the reason why.
What about Clark?
Clark's alive, and I think he's headed this way.
Hey, Danny, it's me, your dad. Would you call me back, please? I just want to make sure you're okay. All right? Please? Where are you?
You looking for me?
I'm sorry. I have to do this.
Just give us 24 hours, please. Look, if you're not gonna do it for Danny, do it for Nate. He is your brother.
You're my brother, too. And I'm just trying to keep you safe, James.
Star. Hello?
I just need to know, how's Danny?
It's Brody Lovett.
James, is everything okay?
I'll tell you in a minute.
I'm sorry.
Calling James?
You heard Nate. He can't do this himself. I'm doing this for Nate and Danny.
Well, it's too bad you won't do anything for us.
Cole!
Just stay put. I'll let you know when it's safe. Okay, just stay. Where's Danny? In the closet.
James? Are you there?
Now's not a great time.
Robert Ford, open up.
What the hell are you doing here?
I've been looking for you, man. You were supposed to bring Danielle to Caracas, remember?
Well, there was a problem, okay? Everything went good with court, but I gotta tell you.
Give me the play-by-play on the way. We gotta get out of town. Where's Danny?